Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Good to know.
How's that for an advert?
We weren't live yet, but you can do it again if you like. It was a nice advert.
Okay. I'll switch it up a bit. Do you need energy and
Yes.
jumper cables bursting in the morning? Do you
Straight
feel
to
like
my
you
nipples.
need to attach your nipples to car batteries in order to get that first jolt of the morning?
Yes.
Do you feel Like going out and buying cocaine is too dangerous and risky and you don't want to do it?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then try Nescafe Black Roast. It's cocaine
Excellent.
in a cup.
Good to
Nescafe
know.
sponsor us.
I like cup cocaine.
I feel like
Actually,
they're.
I'm not sure Nescafe. I think Nescafe is probably a bad people to sponsor us because they're Nestle owned and they do child slavery, which is not cool.
And they harvest palm oil and steal, indigenous water supplies around the world and waste it for.
Oh, and there's the baby milk thing.
Yeah.
Welcome
Nestle,
to our Games
Nestle have done. Yes, hello.
Don't buy Nescafe. Buy cocaine.
You know what?
It's ethically sourced.
I think they have about the same ethics in sourcing. Welcome to Relay's video game podcast, the Unnamed Game Show. This is the show where we talk about games that have been named, sometimes that haven't. But this is our show where we don't talk about Star Citizen, because normally there's a person on this show, Jake Acapella, who works for CIG and can't talk about Star Citizen, but he's actually out rip-roaring around in a brand new automobile, so he can't be here tonight. So it's just the three of us, but we're still going to talk about video games, because guess what? There are games other than Star Citizen, and we like them, because video games are fun, so let's talk some video games.
You have any breath left?
Yeah, tons. Do you want me to keep going?
No, it's okay. What's our first thingamajig?
Well, we start off with a segment I like to call Segmentin Zero. What you playing? Shiver, what you playing?
I'm still on my Satisfactory
Ooh.
binge. That's a bit of an exaggeration because it's basically like I've got an hour at the moment, and I don't want to get into Humankind yet because that game does look like it's basically no. You don't need an hour. You need a month.
Yes,
I-
exactly. That's
yeah.
why I haven't played it yet.
That's eating away at me because I've seen so many good things spoken about it that I'm like, I want to get all my stuff done out of the way and then just be like, don't talk to me. I'm not eating. I'm not drinking. I don't need to go to the loo then, and I'm going to play Humankind until the day I am bored of it.
Yep,
that's the plan.
Sounds like
It's
a
a
great
good
plan. To
plan.
me.
Yeah. I've actually been playing a little bit of Humankind. I can go next, just to segue into Humankind, because why not?
So, Eric, what have you been playing?
Okay, go ahead, Eric.
I'm gonna take this and run with it. I've been playing a little bit of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I've sort of been playing for like a month, but it's a huge fucking game. I'm like 75 hours into it, and I think I'm about halfway, maybe. No, probably not quite. And that's not including the DLCs and expansions and stuff. So
Which there are now 2 of, I believe, right?
yeah, there's the Ireland one, and there's the the Siege on Paris or whatever. Yeah. So.
Hey, Bob Smith, no worries. We like to be equal opportunity for terrible streaming services, because they're both horrible, and
Yes, we stream on both of them, and we figure if we have 2 horrible streaming services, they'll add up to one that is fair to middling.
For legal reasons, we have to say we're not simultaneously casting on YouTube. There is enough of a delay that it is legally distinct.
That's right. Legally distinct delay. Anyway, Valhalla is an excellent game. I recommend everyone play it. It is just if you like that type of game at all, it is an excellent game. I had a really funny experience because I was, doing pretty well in the game. But I was like, man, early on in the game, I made some weird decisions about skills. So I respect my skills, which in Valhalla is free. Like, you can just do it whenever you want, and you can play a different way.
I just want to interject quickly there. As it should be in all games, pretty much, period.
Yeah. So
Agree.
I respect my character, and like now that I actually knew what the hell I was doing partway through the game, and I am indestructible now. I am amazing, and I kill everything.
As it should be.
No, it is a really fun game. There's a great story, and a lot of really cool like little side quests. They go into people talk about content in games. There is so much fucking content in this game. Like, they're like, you know what? We're gonna put in building a town. Okay, cool. You build a town. But we don't. That's not far enough. No, when you build buildings, the people are like happy that you built that building. So then you get a quest from the person who runs that, like your general store, whatever.
General store.
And then you go off on a quest with that person, and you learn about the person who's running your general store. Like there's all these things in the game, and that. Yeah, there's a lot of gameplay there. Very, very well worth your while. The other thing I did this week was this past weekend there was an open beta for Diablo 2 Resurrected. So my buddy Sean, who let's put it this way. About 20 years ago, I don't know exactly when Diablo 2 came out, but roughly 20 years ago, there was this thing that happened where me and my friend Sean sat down at my computer with Diablo 2, and we played from whenever it was like evening until like 9 in the next morning. And anyway, so. And we ended up playing a ton of that game. Anyway, my buddy contacted me. He's like, hey, do you want to play some Diablo 2 for free this weekend to see if it's any good than the Resurrected one? And I have to say, they did a really beautiful job with this remaster. Probably I know this is weird, maybe, but probably the best thing is the cinematics, which they completely redid the cinematics for this game. They are up to modern standards, and as you may know, the Diablo 2 cinematics were incredible for their time, and now they're remade and they're amazing. But really, the game itself is exactly the same game as it used to be, except with modern graphics, and it looks really good. Also, really fun thing because really fun thing because you can, at any point in your gameplay, you can just hit the G button on your keyboard and switch back to the, 20-year-old version of Diablo 2. So you can compare what scenes look like.
I really think that it's one of the best done remasters possibly ever. And
reminded me. Sorry, I was just going to say, reminds me very distinctly of the way that they remastered Halo Combat Evolved the first time. Because they even did the same thing with Halo, where you could just hit a button on the controller and switch back to the original graphics. But no, it was honestly Diablo 2 Resurrected is a really, really good, very faithful remaster of Diablo 2. If anybody loved Diablo 2, I recommend you grab it. It comes out in a month.
And if you've never played Diablo 2, Diablo 2 is still the best, ARPG, I guess.
Yeah,
counts as.
ARPG.
It's the best one. It is the best ARPG ever made. Period.
Probably, yep.
Period. And the remaster is absolutely stunning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a frame for frame remaster, because Diablo 2 ended up being when you get into higher levels of playing Diablo 2, it's the charge time on your skills and the way things work end up coming down to literal frames of like when you can recast and how often you can cast and such. And it's a frame for frame remake, and it is excellent. It looks glorious. I love it.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And in the spot, it was really cool because there's lots of spots where they keep it completely faithful to the original, just with updated graphics. But there's a few spots where they're like, "Oh, we didn't do a very good job decorating this scene in the original game." And all the gameplay area and the monsters and stuff are the same, but they added more like scenery, which is really cool and nice. And yeah, I noticed this especially in Tristram.
Yeah. They've added stuff that doesn't have, like, there's absolutely nothing they've added that changes the gameplay except for a couple of things that change outdated things in the gameplay. Gold picks up automatically now. You no longer have to click on each individual pile of gold because that was stupid. Like it was annoying and dumb, and they got rid of it. Gold auto picks up. So much better. And one of the main things that people did back in the day in Diablo 2 was you had mule characters, because your character had stash, a set stash that they could use was never enough, and you ended up having 5 or 6 mule characters that you'd swap to so that you could keep all the stuff. They just added 4 shared stashes that you can access from all of your characters. Hey, Nascavian. Anyway, love the remaster. It's phenomenal, and I can't wait to play it when it launches.
Yeah, no, it's a really excellent remaster. It's a good return to form because I'm not even willing to touch whatever they did to Warcraft 3. So I'm very happy with this, and I have to say it was like me and my buddy, we played all the way through the open beta, which is the first and second act, over the weekend, to the end of the second act, and we had a great time. Very nostalgic, but also a good modern gaming experience still. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so thumbs up to that. And David, I hear you may be having some interesting gaming experiences this week.
Been playing a fair bit this week, actually. So, I played more Humankind. I played it a little bit last week, and just on what Shiver was talking about. I think I put maybe 4 to 5 hours into Humankind now. Enough that I now understand that Humankind is not Civ.
Legally distinct Civ.
Well, it's I need to put more time into Humankind because I've been playing a bunch of other things that are a bit more immediately grabbing and flashy, and Civ and Humankind, they're sit down and focus for large amounts of time. I've been having to be able to pause so I can go deal with childs and stuff. But it's quite good. It's distinct enough for Civ that I don't just feel like I'm playing Civ, which to me was important.
Yeah.
I really like
Is it familiar enough? Because I've played in the open betas. I say open betas, the closed betas that they did. It did. You had a certain amount of familiarity with it because of experience with Civ, but it also at the same time it's like, okay, that is different.
There are 3 gameplay modes when you start off. There's complete, complete 4X, or complete beginner, right? I've never played a strategy game like this. There's complete expert. I've played Humankind. I know exactly what I'm doing. And then there's the middle difficulty, or the middle tutorialization, which is I have played other strategy games. Show me what's different. And that is incredibly important. Because The first thing I notice about Humankind is that they have simplified a lot from Civ. There are basically two resources. There's fame and money. There's other stuff that accumulates, but those are the only ones that you really have to worry about to buy stuff. But everything, like, it's just, I don't know. I have difficulty explaining it. It's something that you really do need to play. I think it's quite good. I think it's simplified enough from Civ. Civ sometimes gets a bit complicated, but it's also, I don't know. I think I prefer it to Civ. I think that it simplified some things that I didn't like with Civ, and I think it added complexity to some things that I think Civ really needed. There's more control over your cities and how those cities expand, not just buying tiles, right? Because in Civ, you've got your one tile city, and you slowly expand the city tile by tile by tile. In Humankind, there are regions. Think of like a state or a province or a territory, right? Like when you found your city in the center of it, you have that entire region of control, and then you can choose to place buildings for that city more or less anywhere in that region and exploit the resources of the region a lot differently. It's a lot different than 6. I like it. I think you should play it. I think it's better than Civilization.
I'm
But
gonna see if it'll run on my laptop. Maybe while I'm gone, I can play a little bit.
might. But Shiver, you are right in that don't hop into it if you've only got an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. It's a 4x game. If it's a good 4x game, you can't be like, oh, just waste 10 minutes on this. No, you need to like set aside. Okay, so look at my diary. Yeah, I got time.
Yeah, no, it's I really, really, really love Europa Universalis 3. Sorry. What am I talking about? Sorry, totally wrong game. My brain just totally went the wrong direction. Crusader Kings 3. The other franchise.
I'm Hearts of Iron.
So, and Hearts of Iron, of course. But Crusader Kings 3, like, it was a 4X game that actually got some considerations and some awards for Game of the year it came out. And it's just that good. But, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm going to play a game of Crusader Kings, and it's 50, 60, 70 hours? So, not one day, but, you know, to actually get through one game.
Humankind does have the same ability as Civ of, like, you can choose the game speed.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 4 or 5 different game speed options.
There's other
Warp
games
12.
Marathon?
I mean, I've never selected one, but the options exist.
Has anyone ever selected anything other than Marathon?
Like,
no.
Play it.
No.
What map size do you want? The biggest one
Yes.
you can find.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why
I
bother
want the
with
biggest
choice?
map
Look, we
with
want
the most
longest,
people
biggest
and the
game.
longest time.
That's right.
Okay, what else have I been playing? I've been playing a lot on my PS5, actually. It's been a lot of fun, the PS5. I played and beat the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Excellent.
Which, holy crap.
If you had to give it a letter grade, what would you give it?
I'd give it an A+.
Nice.
I think it's fantastic.
And it's not done yet, is it?
It's not done. There's going to be more coming. I really can't wait for more to come. But what they have in the first like the first segment of that game is phenomenal. The combat feels great. It's really, really good in the first part, and then there's an expansion, a DLC that's one of the side characters from the original 7, Yuffie, and her combat, the combat in her DLC specifically, is the best feeling combat in a Final Fantasy game I've ever played. I loved it.
Oh wow!
I
Very nice.
It's only on PS5, but if you get a PS5, it is an absolute must-buy. Great game. Love it. And you
Dozens of people have enjoyed it.
Yes, because no one can get PS5s. But
I actually just looked.
Yeah.
There hasn't been PS5s in stock in Canada since July 22nd.
I got the one. I got the one, Eric. I don't know how I did.
I got to the checkout screen once. like
Shiver's
8 months
like,
ago.
Shiver's gonna be like, oh yeah, my local corner store has 80 sitting in the back.
Amazon's out. Oh no, they're not. Never mind. Amazon have 3 in stock currently. Amazon Japan, but because brick and mortar stores are still very big here.
Yeah.
The ones that were having trouble getting them, you would enter a lottery effectively, and it wasn't, it was more, this week you'll be getting your PS5 if you won the lottery, but yeah, everyone did get their PS5. It was just a matter of, which week are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't even have that.
Incidentally, we also have discovered that Shiver cannot ship anything to me. So we're still screwed.
Really? That's.
I need to check up on that and see if that's changed yet. But
because I mean,
it's 'cause of COVID.
if Shiver could just buy me a PS5 and send it across the ocean, I'd be okay with that.
Talk to
Would
Jake.
work
He
if
said
both
he might be able to. You gotta get
Really?
Jake to do it. Yeah. Talk to Jake.
Okay.
Anyway, Final Fantasy VII Remake, phenomenal. Looks amazing, plays amazing, and you play as an eco-terrorist, single-handedly destroying a corporation that is destroying the Earth. So it's topical, and I love it. I had a bit of a look. People often say two things. One, that Final Fantasy VII is one of the best video games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that before because I got into FF7 way too late and I just didn't. I don't like random battles. I hate random battles. Right? Like if I've got it. If I'm trying to get from point A to point B, and I keep getting interrupted by random battle after random battle after I'm sick of it. Just let me get where I want to go. Right? So I don't like old JRPGs for that reason. That said, now that I've played at least the first part of the remake, yeah, I can say that FF7 is a very, very good game, and I can understand why people thought it was one of the best games of all time at the time. What I will also say, though, is that a lot of video game enjoyers also seem to say
Also
that
known as gamers.
video game enjoyers, seem to say that politics don't involve in video games or don't belong. Politics don't belong in video games.
Of course they do.
And holy crap, Final Fantasy VII has the most blatant, punch you in the face repeatedly political environmental message I've ever seen in a video game. It's like, it literally grabs you and is like, this is bad. Corporations are bad. They're ruining the planet. Stop them or they will kill you and everyone you love because it's funny.
Sounds like Werewolf the Apocalypse.
I just that like politics don't belong in video games. And I'm just looking at Final Fantasy VII being like, This is one of the best video games of all time, and it is so overtly political. It's amazing. Niskavian, I can't speak today. I too am a video game enjoyer.
I don't think there's politics shouldn't be in every single game. If you can weave it into your narrative in a clever and interesting way, that's cool. But I mean, I don't want real life politics in Shower with Your Dad Simulator.
Does Borderlands need politics? No. But
obviously I'm okay with politics that is set in the law. That's interesting and cool as well.
But it's the claim that it's not just that politics don't belong in video games. It's that I see this often. I don't know why I see this often, but it's like games used to be apolitical and used to not have political messaging, and now today they're overtly political, and it's like, no.
I mean, 40 year ago maybe.
Pong.
Yeah, when you couldn't put a political message into a game.
Like Pac-Man and...
But, yeah, sorry. Anyway. FF7 Remake, great game. If you ever get a PS5,
on a related note, I thought it was very, very amusing when people were saying about Bloodlines 2, we don't want politics in Bloodlines 2. And it's like, you don't want politics in a Vampire the Masquerade game. I mean, that's literally one of the tenets of Vampire the Masquerade is politics. And it would be like having Pokemon without the Pokemon.
No, Shiver. They solved that for those people. That's why they're releasing Blood Hunt.
Well, not even Blood Hunt. The whole story, even let's not get into why I hate the game, but the story of Blood Hunt is a political story. It's the big fallout from when the Camarilla and the Anarchs were all like,
Shiver, you took my joke and you ruined it. You took my joke and you ruined it.
Jokes tend to be funny.
Not mine. Is Pac-Man an allegory for consumption? I could see it being.
Jesus.
All I know is
Allegory
Super Hot.
Communism, right?
Play
Tricks
Super
you
Hot.
into
It's the most
playing
innovative
capitalism.
shooter I've played in years.
Because Pac-Man is in fact you, the player, the consumer. And ghosts represent communism because of the first line in a communist manifesto, a spectre is looming across Europe. Doesn't matter that the game came from Japan. And what you're doing is consuming the things which is money, thus disallowing this great spectre of communism from taking... It was a stretch to start, to be honest with you, but yeah.
Interesting.
What's the next segment?
No, I'm not done the games I played this week.
Jesus, you have been busy.
I have. I also restarted and beat The Last of Us, the first one. Phenomenal game.
Did you enjoy the remaster?
I did. The remaster actually looks really, really good. I played it on PS5, obviously.
Looks beautiful. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm very impressed by what they pulled off in the remaster. Looks great. Still plays well. Honestly, you can have my gamer card, but I played it on easy.
You wanted to remind yourself what the story was.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
I played it on easy, and even on easy, it is still a hard game.
That game's not easy at all.
On
Even
easy. On easy. The easiest difficulty there is. I died more than a dozen times. Because you'll be shooting one zombie that's running at you, and they still take all of your ammo, even on easy. They don't stock you up with more ammo or anything on easy. and then you turn around and one just grabs you and bites you and tears your throat out. Or one of the big bloater boomer guys grabs you and rips your jaw out of your skull. Like, it's just there are so many like instant death things that happen. Anyway, great game. Phenomenal story. I'm playing
There's a part in this. Go ahead.
I'm playing the expansion now, but I'm played the first one. I'm playing the expansion, all to get to The Last of Us 2, which I now have a PlayStation. I can play The Last of Us 2, and I'm going to because both Eric and Jake say that it is the best game of all time, or their favorite game of all time. So
It is.
Play it.
The Last of Us Part 2 is probably one of the best made games ever. And I loved it. And, I played through that game, and then I immediately started replaying it, and then I had to sell my... I sold my PlayStation because I had expected I was going to be able to buy a PS5, and here we are 10 months later, and I don't have a PS5. But I'm still hoping to continue. I'm still hoping to jump back into playing The Last of Us again once I get my PlayStation 5.
And I've been playing one more thing this week because I really have been on a roll. I apologize.
Yep.
I also picked up Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Wish Jake was here to pronounce that correctly.
Tsushima? How do I pronounce it, Shiver?
I'm not very good at those TF words myself. I had a big discussion with the wife once about it. Oh, no, I'm not even going to try. You got to sort of pronounce the T and the S at the same time, so it's
Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
That is the best samurai video game I've ever played. It's also agonizingly beautiful. Really, really good looking. It's I'm playing on normal difficulty. It's a samurai game. Tsushima is I think it's a series of islands, or is it one island? It's an island north of Japan that has been invaded by the Mongols. North or south?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
it
north.
would be north if it's being invaded by the Mongols, but that's Hokkaido. And Sakhalin.
Yes, Niskavian, Ghosts of Tsushima.
Yep.
Anyway, the entire premise is Japanese island invaded by the Mongols. The Mongols pretty much stomp their way through, and you are the one samurai who will be able to, build back the Japanese forces and take back the island.
Cool.
So Tsushima is kind of south, but it's nowhere near the most southern point. It's in between Nagasaki and South Korea.
I can't help.
Both way off.
I can't help what the game.
I fucking hate geography.
Who? What? Oh, geography. Sorry, I couldn't hear. Game is fantastic, though. It's it's open world samurai game, but it's very simple. You have a katana and a tanto, and that's it. And you get to upgrade them 5 or 6 times throughout the entire game. But your moveset doesn't really change. You've got a bunch of stances you can go to. But it's just the combat and everything about it is very fixed and very fluid, and also entirely timing based. It is almost all about letting your enemies attack and either dodging their moves and striking, or deflecting and striking. And it's very, very much like you're standing against someone and they attack and you deflect and you kill them and you move on to the next. Like, it's there's not a lot of like hacking and hacking and hacking to kill things. Anyway, so far the game is phenomenal. I love it. Honestly, really, really surprised by how much I like it. There are a couple of things I don't like, though. I seem to remember way back years ago when they were talking about it, there was this idea that you could either be a samurai or a ninja, essentially, in that you could... you're able to do duels, basically, right? You come upon a group of enemies, and one of your options is to challenge them to essentially a showdown where you know, when one of them attacks you, you draw and kill them, and then draw, like, it's you're challenging them face on and you go into fight. Or you can shinobi. You can like hide in the grasses and take them out one by one. And way back when they were talking about the game, it was like these two sides, and like you had to, there was like a meter of like, are you being a samurai and honor and always facing your opponent when you kill them and looking them in the eyes, and or are you being a shinobi and like stabbing them in the back and assassinating and whatever. And that's gone. And I'm slightly disappointed that that's gone, because I have basically not been assassinating anyone. I am challenging everyone I can, except the few points where they're like, no, you have to assassinate people or else. But like, the story is still leading in the way of like, your uncle's disappointed in you because you stabbed someone in the back and didn't, you know, it's like, anyway, great game. Really highly recommend it. Thing that I'm most surprised though about is there's actually, and I didn't even look into this until I was like 15, 20 hours into the game, whatever, 10, I don't know. There's something called Ghost of Tsushima Legends, which is a free online multiplayer mode for the game on PlayStation that's even better than the game. So they took the like the single player, everything about it. They added equipment, they added levels to the equipment, they added skills, they added 4 different classes, and it's a like a wave, a co-op wave like combat. Of you've got a bunch of areas to defend, you can get to them, defend them with your allies, and it's PvE. They're apparently going to be adding a PvP mode down the road, but it's all free to play, and it's phenomenal. I'm absolutely staggered by how good this game is multiplayer, that they added free on top of the original game itself. If you have I think it's on PS4 as well, actually. If you have PS4 or PS5, seriously look into Ghost of Tsushima Legends. I'm staggered by how much I'm enjoying it.
Awesome.
I've got a
That's
not
awesome.
very fun but educational, hopeful fact for you.
What's that?
So you know how people tend to think, well, what does a shinobi look like? Describe what a shinobi wears.
I mean,
someone who isn't a hipster, Eric.
So Shinobi is a ninja, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all black, everything except for their eyes covered.
they wear peasant garb.
Thank you for giving me the answer I wanted. Now, the reason that people think that that's what shinobi looked like is because during Japanese plays, in order to project an unseen event that was going on, the actors would dress entirely in black because you can't see, and yeah, that was why the stereotypical shinobi is all black or whatever, is because the plays were just portraying them entirely in black, so people thought that's what they wore. But no, hipster boy over there was more correct, and they would just wear anything that made them blend in.
Blend into the environment, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There you
great
go, my
game.
not so
Highly
fun
recommend it.
educational fact for you.
The Skavian, both of the ways are really cool. The game does a really good job of balancing them. They're both really, like, worthwhile and possible. And there's also even archery. Like, you can successfully be an archer, which I love. Japanese longbows. I think they're the coolest damn things in the world. They're like, they're short on the bottom and then super long on top, and I love it. Really cool. Anyway, great game. And that is everything I've been playing this week.
Okay.
We can move to the next segment.
Do we have more segments?
We do. We have the accurately named segment 2, one game that you want.
I think you should go first, David, because we should know beyond those 4 games that you've been playing, what other game do you want to play?
You know what I want to play? I want to find time. I've got too much to play right now. I need to play more Ghost of Tsushima. I need to play more Last of Us. I need to play more Demon's Souls and a bunch of other stuff. But something was just released today that, I mean, I and a number of other people have been waiting for years, and I really want to find time to play it. And that is Psychonauts 2.
Boyfriend Simulator 2021.
Hell yes. Psychonauts 2.
Oh.
If you've never played the original Psychonauts, Psychonauts 1 is a middling action game hiding a A-plus world and story. The gameplay of Psychonauts 1 is not great. It's fine. Psychonauts 1 is all about...
Double fine.
Yes, Cyberwolf, it is released. It's out. Yes, it's by Double Fine. Psychonauts 2 is out right now.
Also on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass. Yes, exactly. Psychonauts 1 was a functional game, but the story and the ideas behind it were phenomenal. In that you are a psychonaut, you have to dive into people's psyches to figure things out about them and solve problems, and you dive into these worlds that are their brains, and it's really, really cool. Psychonauts 2 is now out, and I really want to find time to play that because, and I know this is actually part of the news, but I'm going to talk about it now because the segue works. It's getting phenomenally good reviews right now. If I look at the reviews here, 9 on 10, 9 on 10, 8 on 10, 9 on 10, 4 on 5, 9 on 10, 5 on 5, 9 on 10, 5 on 5, 5. Like, it's...
Yep.
Apparently it's really good. It sounds like the story is excellent as well, but they've also made it a good playing game and a good feeling game, which that excites me.
Mm-hmm.
Shiver, I know that you want My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Yes.
What else do you want?
Equestria Stable Simulator.
I love how you had to think about that one. Nice one. That
Thank
was
you.
worth the think.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah, apart from Bloodlines 2, I do want, I think it's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Okay.
Cool.
Because it's from the same studio that did the Arkham series. I think it's even set in the Arkham series universe. and I want to see that game. It look, just that quick trailer. How the hell are we supposed to kill Superman? I want to know. I want to play this game.
Kryptonite Rain. I always remember one of the only Superman comics I ever owned was Lex Luthor beat Superman by making it rain kryptonite. And I remember the cover of the comic is Superman like as like green rain is falling on him.
Sounds fun.
So Superman dies. Shane, that never happened to you. That was something that other people enjoyed.
I hated Superman. Anyway,
There.
Superman. You know what? I hate that Superman was created
I knew he
by
wouldn't just let it
Canadians.
go.
No, Superman was created by a bunch of Canadians. There's even a Canadian heritage.
A bunch? There was like a group that
No, it
created
was two.
Superman?
It was two. I thought it was two Canadians that created Superman.
You said a bunch. I was criticizing your bunchness.
A couple.
Well, they were together now, were they?
That's why I said a bunch. They were one of those lonely pairs of bananas at the grocery store that still technically is a bunch of bananas because any group of bananas is a bunch. It's a bunch of bananas.
Yes, that's
Alrighty
because
then, man.
that's because that's the collective noun.
Yeah.
Bananas.
So they were. Are you saying the
Collective noun for Canadians is a maple.
No. It's a team.
A maple of Canadians.
It's a rink of Canadians.
Only in the winter.
Oh. But it's always winter up here. Not anymore. Climate change. We've had a heat warning every single day. Heat warning every single day for 2 weeks.
Yeah, how hot's it in the morning there?
24 plus humidex
Fuck off. Get back to me when it's 28 in the fucking morning, and then we'll talk about how hot you live.
plus humidex. Yeah, 28, 30.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is your humidity below 90%?
I don't know. I don't look at it. I just don't. You know what, Shiver? I don't even look at the temperature anymore. I just don't leave the house.
It's 35C at 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. At the peak, it's been getting up to 42, and it's still bloody humid. It's mad.
We're hitting 38. 38 at peak.
Well, it's nice and cool here if you guys want to come to Calgary.
Okay.
Yeah. I do.
I'm not sure about the Suicide Squad game, but there are a number of those Arkham-style games that are like There's that one and the Arkham Knights, right?
Arkham Origins had multiplayer.
Did it? No. No, but the two that are coming out. The two that are coming out. There's Suicide Squad and
Gotham
Knights. Yeah. Interesting. I'm interested. I really like the idea of like 4-player games. It's just finding 4 people to play them.
Well, I think Gotham Knights is only going to be 2, but Suicide Squad is up to 4.
Yeah.
Not more.
Anyway, they look good. Eric, what do you want?
I explained this enough before, so I'm just going to say I want Diablo 2 Resurrected. And I didn't know that I wanted it until this weekend when I played it, and then I was like, God damn, I need this game.
Yep.
So, there you go.
Before we move to our next segment, what do you in the chat want? Yes, you. Sitting there thinking, I want this game. What do you want? I want to know. I genuinely do. I want to know what everyone wants. So tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
$1996 called. It wants its meme back.
Good memes never die. All right, it's time for the Thorth segment. Actually, you know what? 1994 couldn't call, hey, Ghost, how's it going?
Hey, Ghost.
Genuine question, what's in DRG Update 35? Because I've actually been playing a lot of DRG with friends lately, which...
You just
never-
offended Ghost and I. We'd sit here and play it with you.
Yeah, ask me to. Interesting. I got promoted as engineer. That's significant for me.
I'm trying to figure out what DRG stands for. I
Deep
probably
Rock
should
Galactic.
know. Oh, okay. I was thinking like, dystopian rocket grenades.
Doom regurgitated.
Anyway, the Thorth segment.
The Thorth segment. Seriously though, DRG is a great game. If you haven't played DRG, do it. It's quite enjoyable. Yeah. The Thorth segment. So there hasn't been too much news this week. I think that's largely because of what's happening tomorrow. So tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I don't know any other time zones, I apologize, but 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So I think that's 11 Pacific?
Yep.
2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. Gamescom opening night with Jeff Keely. Gamescom is a large German convention that happens every year on tech and games, and Jeff Keely is doing the opening night for it. He always puts on very good shows. It sounds like this is going to be a 2-hour event filled with lots of information about the games that are coming up this holiday season, as well as probably a lot that we can expect next year. I know that I don't know, but I believe that Halo Infinite will have 10 minutes of gameplay shown off. There's going to be a bunch of things shown off. I'm not watching it live. It's in the middle of the workday. Why do they do that? In the middle of the workday on a... I guess it's German
It's
time.
in Germany, dude.
Oh, I know, but...
Because for some people, that is their workday.
Anyway, I guess. I believe the current plan is that at least Jake and I will be rebroadcasting it tomorrow night at 9 p.m. So if you want to watch it and you don't want to watch it during the day, join us tomorrow night to rewatch it, because I'm hoping that there's going to be some cool things announced.
Do you think, a CD Projekt Red there?
I don't know.
Do you think we might get an announcement that, a release date for Cyberpunk from Early Access?
Ooh.
Probably not.
Ghost, that rifle looks good. That's... You know what?
I mean, CDPR are actually working on next-gen update for Witcher 3, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Very exciting.
I think...
Give me an excuse to
already
replay
own
Witcher 3.
That's what I've been holding off on, actually. If you already own it, don't you get the remaster, next-gen, whatever you want?
Yes, I believe you do. Yep. And there's also new DLC coming for The Witcher 3 as well.
Shit.
Jesus.
I just remembered something I really wanted to talk about. So...
Oh, no.
No, it's not going to take too long. Remember when I was when I first started talking about Ghosts of Tsushima, when I was saying how absolutely gorgeous it is?
Mm-hmm.
I used the PlayStation built-in screenshot and movie capture thing to capture a couple of images and GIFs, because I wanted to share it specifically with you guys, actually, to be like, holy shit, look at this game. It is gorgeous. So I did that, assuming that there would be some way to get those images and movies off my PS5 and to a place that I could send them to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the options are for sharing?
I would love to hear.
Okay, so it's on your PlayStation account, your console. There's nowhere you can upload it to. You can start a conversation with another PlayStation Network person, like a friend, and you can send them to a friend. I don't have basically any friends on PSN, and that doesn't really help me, because if you guys aren't on PSN, it helps zero.
Can't you put it on a thumb drive at the very least?
I haven't even looked into that. It's not listed in the options of like. No, sure. You can send it to a PlayStation Network contact as a personal message, or you can share it to YouTube, or you can share it to Twitter. That's it.
That's gross. You know what's
That's
really bad about
it.
that is how the old Xbox was. The new one, the Xbox Series X, is like, how about I give you every option? You have like 42 different options. It's really nice.
I just want like.
There's even a dedicated
Nice.
controller button for sharing things on the Xbox.
It's
It's
obviously on the
ridiculous
internet,
because-
so
and you
why
can't-
can't you just upload it to Google Drive or something?
Because it won't let you. There's
No,
even-
I'm not
see
having a go
this?
at you. I'm having a go at them.
Oh, I know, but see this? This right here is the PlayStation app. It shows my progress in Last of Us Remastered. Oh, look at that. It shows my progress in Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, look at that. You'd think that this app that knows everything I'm doing, and by the way, actually, that I think is kind of cool, gives me a notification when something I was downloading has finished downloading. The app will be like, hey, this is ready to play. Thanks, app. Hey, app, is there any way that I can view my screenshots or videos on this app? No! It's fucking stupid!
Also, that is one of the ways that the Xbox app is really cool. Because yes, you can do that with the Xbox app. You just you can just go into your screenshots and videos on your phone and find them.
The games on the PS5, 10 out of 10. Phenomenal. The everything else of the PS5
Yeah.
is like a 2. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is- Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I keep playing games because they're the only games I'm going to buy on the PS5 is the exclusives. I keep seeing like all of the intro logos for all the games is Sony Computer Entertainment. Every single time I think I see it, I think, well, you're not really putting much on the computer, are there, you bastards?
I mean, the PS5's a computer. So is your phone, by the way.
It's not. No. This is an Android mobile device. It's not a computer. It is not a personal computer. It's a mobile
Does it
device.
compute?
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Almost everything we touch now is a computer.
Your fridge is a computer then.
Yeah, it is.
That's stupid.
A lot of them are. A
Eris.
lot of them are.
At this point, you should just be done with it and download Grindr because you are so anal. I downloaded Grindr.
Yeah?
Not for any.
Was it
Oh,
was
yeah,
it
not for
to,
any
was it to
illicit
find
intentions.
Miscavian?
No.
Oh,
What I
Oh no,
thought,
that's
you know,
OnlyFans.
It'd be really useful. Be really useful if my car ever breaks down. Because what I could do is I could just go on Grindr and say, "Oh yeah, I'm over here." Get them all to give the car a little bit of a push and just say, "It's all right. I'll come back. I'll suck you all off." I don't go back. Obviously, I just try not to break down in that area for a bit of time. But
I see.
That's an
It's
interesting
Interesting,
way.
it's an interesting strategy. You could
Yeah.
also just have like a roadside assistance.
Yeah, sometimes though that takes too long, and if you go on Grinder, it's like 5 minutes later, just jumping out at you, and you got like 4 or 5 guys.
Okay,
That's
so
an interesting tip. I'll keep that in mind.
we have one last thing of news to we've got one last news bulletin to say.
Actually.
Honestly, because Lots is probably waiting for Gamescom tomorrow. There should be some news there. Eric, do you want that one?
Sure, but you didn't touch on Halo Infinite.
Didn't I?
Nope. We'll talk about that one very briefly. Also, did you guys do a show last week? I don't think I was on.
We did.
Oh, you did. Did you touch on the delays for Halo Infinite?
Oh.
I don't think so. Okay, so some Halo Infinite news. First of all, there will be a 10 minutes of gameplay for Halo Infinite at Gamescom tomorrow. Secondly, some of the game modes from Halo Infinite have been delayed. They considered delaying the whole game again, but they decided not to. They are just going to delay a couple game modes. Those are unfortunately the only game mode that matters, which is split screen co-op.
That is absolutely incorrect.
Yes, no, it's not. And I believe the online multiplayer is also delayed.
Forge is delayed. That's not the
sorry.
online multiplayer.
Well, my bad. What is Forge again? Can you remind me?
Forge is the ability to mix and match and create your own stuff in Halo Infinite.
Okay, there you go. So the split screen multiplayer and Forge, which is the customization stuff, are delayed. I think they said 3 months for Forge and 6 months for the split
Other
screen.
way around.
Is that right?
Other way around.
Oh, the other way around.
3
Okay.
months. 3 months for split screen, 6 months for Forge. And here's why it doesn't matter. Because one, split screen doesn't matter right now. Because one, none of us have any friends, and two, any friends that you do have aren't allowed in your house right now, and you shouldn't be having them in your house. And if you are, you're a bad person.
No, you're not. If
Yes,
you're
you are.
fully vaccinated, it's fine.
It's not. Don't do it. It's dangerous. Delta variant is coming, and Lambda's coming even further behind it. Stay safe. No, it's
Take reasonable precautions, but don't drive yourself insane, please.
split screen is lovely, but
It's the only thing that matters in Halo Infinite.
It is a fantastic feature of Halo.
It was the only reason I've never played Halo 5. They took it out.
I haven't played a split screen game in over a decade.
I haven't played one in a long time either. But the reason I love split screen games is Halo. It's so good. Playing on a couch with your friend, playing the entire campaign together. It's awesome.
But split screen co-op is missing. That said, could you and I just boot up online co-op and play it together, period? I think we could.
Probably, but I don't know for sure because I didn't read the thing about what they are delaying. I don't know if it's just the co-op campaign in itself is delayed or what, but
I don't know.
yeah,
God.
campaign co-op is delayed. Yeah.
Okay, if campaign co-op is delayed, that's a bit more annoying. If it was just split screen, I wouldn't have a problem. But I can also see them wanting to get the game out.
Tinfoil hat time. It's tinfoil hattery. I don't think this is true, but I'm not going to discount it either.
Tinfoil hattery?
Perhaps. Yes. That should be a segment. What if they are delaying this on purpose so they can keep the price at near enough launch price for those months?
What? Oh, no. Serious question. What the fuck is launch price? It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, I was gonna say no one's actually buying it anyway. They're just going on Game Pass.
I personally don't bother with Game Pass because it's like every single game I'm like, oh, that's a good. Oh, I've got it. Oh, I've got it. Oh,
Oh, fair. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they're just honestly, based on what they were saying, they were sort of faced with a situation where they were probably going to have to delay the whole game again, and then they were like, "Well, we could do this instead." Um, I'm gonna say I think they should just delay the whole game, but that's my opinion, and I'm probably not shared by many people.
Star Citizen question for you.
Yep.
Co-op campaign was a initial Kickstarter promise for Star Citizen. Should Star Citizen be delayed? Should Squadron 42 be delayed until the entire campaign is playable in co-op?
The entire campaign was never supposed to be playable in co-op. They said that you might be able to play some levels with another person after you had played them yourself. That was it. And should it be delayed until they can do that? No, because they also said that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do it at launch. So I'm going to say no.
They've said that you can't do it at launch.
The campaign co-op for Halo Infinite was one of the main features of the game.
however, I would like a a Squadron 42 co-op game, rather than just single player, a couple of multiplayer levels, maybe Star Citizen entire online game. Co-op series would be pretty good.
It'd be really cool if they could make a co-op mode for Squadron. And honestly, I wouldn't put it past them at all.
Co-op for Halo Infinite is important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the most important thing for Halo Infinite is, though?
Guns.
Period, bar none.
That the free multiplayer mode is good.
Yes.
Yeah. The
multiplayer mode
first of all,
is free.
It looks really good, and if it is as good as it looks, then it will be massive.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's all that matters. If that comes out and is good,
well, it's not what matters to me.
I know, but you is not everyone, and most people play Halo for the multiplayer.
I think it's a pretty even split, because Halo started off as a story-based game.
Oh,
and that's
sure.
how it got its fan base.
But it does have a huge fan base now, based on the Halo 3 multiplayer, which got super popular for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Whereas something like Battlefield was a multiplayer game first, and I've never touched any of the single players in Battlefield. Now that they're not even bothering with the single player campaign.
They've brought them back.
Oh,
Did
really?
you not play? Yeah, in I think it was BF5, which I think is free on Prime.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of single player campaigns, and they're all really good.
Nice.
I think it was actually only one Battlefield that they didn't bother with single player. They brought it back, and they're
Is that
good.
4?
I don't. But when someone's picking up Battlefield, they're not like, great, the next installment of my single player game. They're like, no. It's
they're thinking back to.
Well,
they're thinking back
sorry,
to Battlefield.
Eris, you're not everyone that plays Battlefield.
Wait, you're not thinking back to Battlefield 1942 when you pick up a Battlefield game,
I'm thinking back to 2142.
or
2142.
2142?
No, I think back to Desert Combat, the 1942 mod.
Yeah. So the other thing of note here is that the Xbox Series X and Series S and the Xbox One are getting cloud gaming. This is not a surprise, but it is, it's the feature's slowly been rolling out. It rolled out to phones and then to PCs, and then now it's rolling out to the consoles. There are some games that it will be much easier for Microsoft to get rights to if they only do cloud, which they already have some games like that on Game Pass, where they only stream them and they don't allow you to download the game.
Fable 2?
Yep. And it's a rights thing, right? It can be easier for them to get rights to do that.
Interestingly,
there's also a bunch of EA games that are like that right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
One thing that I thought was interesting is this came out during the Microsoft like pre-Gamescom stream that happened today. And one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting was during that stream, they were mentioning that, I mean, I think what they said something along the lines of, you know, now that X and S will have cloud gaming enabled, this could be the last console you ever need. Something along those lines. And no, but I mean, we're not there yet. Stadia is crap, right? And even the Xbox Cloud, which I've played through a fair bit of Fable 2 on, it's still limited, right? Like it's still there's still an input delay, and you can feel it. But I'm thinking about Eric, what you were saying today about the next batch of Starlink satellites that are going up, all having the laser connectivity that drastically increases speeds to faster than you can possibly get on Earth, right? The idea being that the Starlink satellites, you beam it, if you're going long distances over Earth, you beam up to one Starlink satellite, and then it lasers as fast as light off to the next, you know, to wherever it needs to go, and then it beams back down, is significantly faster than traveling on wire all the way stationed
under the ocean and then past all the sharks. And yeah,
I mean, and dodging all the sharks is really the problem, right?
Yeah,
So those sharks, every time an image loads slowly, it's because a shark ate it. We're not there yet, but
we're getting there.
you know what? Like year over year, we might get to the point where you don't need much else. Like, maybe not for us who are crazy and stream about video games all the time, but for a person that plays, you know, 1 or 2 games a year, if you play, I worked at a video game store in Canada, up here, for years, and there was a specific breed of customer that bought the console and then bought the yearly sports game. Up here it was NHL, right? They bought NHL every year and maybe a Call of Duty. But that's
I've
it.
played more than that.
Well, I know, but
every
there's
evening,
this
okay.
whole segment of people that's it. And for them, for that whole segment of people, you know what? Yeah, with cloud gaming, this might be it. You might not need anything further. And I really like that idea because you know what? Significantly reduces material waste.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. If you can make devices that do their job really well and are long-lived, and a person can use it to game for 10 or 15 years, that is a big plus. All you need is an internet connection. It'd be great.
Yep.
I'm good with that.
I think that if that can happen, then you might actually see eventually Microsoft, and they've started. They've actually started this program a little bit where you can essentially rent to own the console, right? They've got that program.
Yeah, they have it's a really cool program. I love that they're doing it.
I love it.
Yeah.
The
You pay
program-
like $30 a month or whatever, and you get the console up front, and then after I think it's like 2 years or something, it's paid off.
So one of the things that in government there's this discussion about going to is it's basically equipment as a service.
Yeah.
The idea is instead of, because turnover for computers is every 4 years, right? Every 4 to 5 years, you need a new series of laptop, right?
Mm-hmm.
The idea
If you
now,
can get them to last that long.
yes, but the idea is you contract with Microsoft and they hand you. I'm gonna bring this into gaming as a thing. You say, okay, Microsoft, here is my $20 a month, and Microsoft sends you their console, almost like a router, right? You work with an internet provider, they send you the router, and then when you quit that internet provider, you give them the router back. Microsoft sends you the console, and it sits there, and then if they ever need to upgrade it, they send you a new one, you send them the old one back, and then they take that old one back and they dismantle it, they recycle 100% of the components within it, and they use those components to build new ones. Because one of the problems is all of our electronics, probably 90% of them end up in landfill.
End up in Indonesia somewhere.
Yeah.
Or Africa. Yeah.
I really like what Microsoft is doing on an environmental front, and I really hope this is something that they're thinking about, because
I think it was like Lenovo or something has started that with their laptops.
HP,
I can't
Lenovo, Microsoft are actually doing it internally for server hardware.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That makes
starting.
sense. That's good.
Sorry, I know that was a bit of a aside, but it matters a lot to me.
So there's another piece of news that's really important that we talk about, because it's never happened before. It is probably the biggest news of this year.
Yeah.
And that is that on November 11th, Skyrim is coming out again.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
Something like that.
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition, the 10th Anniversary Edition, is coming out on November 11th. Has a bunch of it's remastered, so it has a bunch of new textures and upgraded visuals and a bunch of stuff from the Creation Club and the expansions and so on and so forth. And if you want to play Skyrim for the 412th time, please feel free to do so. It's also a free upgrade for people who already have it. So, there you go. They're releasing Skyrim again. I'm still waiting for the toaster edition, though. I can't play it on my toaster yet, so it's not gone
If you
far
can do
enough.
cloud gaming, you can play it on your toaster.
That's a good point.
I think this is only going to be the 4th. 1, 2, 3. This is only going to be the 5th version of Skyrim.
Unless are you counting the VR version?
Yes.
Separate.
So there's Skyrim.
Yeah.
Which PC, 360, PS3, Nintendo Switch. Skyrim Special Edition.
PS3, that's how old Skyrim
Yes.
is.
Skyrim Special Edition. PC free upgrade. Xbox One, PS4. Skyrim Anniversary Edition. PC upgrade. Xbox One, PS4, Xbox Series S and PS5. Then there was Skyrim VR, PSVR and PC VR. And now there's going to be the that was 1, 2, 3, 4 Skyrim VR, and then this is going to be the 5th version of Skyrim, the Skyrim Ultimate Deluxe Special Edition, whatever the hell they're calling it. There's only 5 editions of Skyrim, and also the version that is
different versions of the same game,
and also the version that's playable on Alexa only by voice, which I think counts as a 6th version, to be honest.
Sure.
There are 6 versions of Skyrim.
Do you want to count the TTRPG as well? Because there is a TTRPG as well.
No.
Specifically of Skyrim.
No, that doesn't count. Still, six
Pretty
releases
soon-
of Skyrim.
Pretty soon it's going to come out for smartwatches.
Okay,
we're going to be sitting around here, and like 8 years from now, we're all going to have like holodecks, and we're going to be playing Skyrim.
Dad Howard said that as long as people keep buying it, they're gonna keep selling it. And
Elder Scrolls 6, people are gonna buy that more.
No, here's the thing, and I was discussing this in the Relay Discord, which if you're not part of the Relay Discord, you should join for such insightful comments such as these. I think that somewhere in the next Elder Scrolls game, there should be a scroll or a book or a spell or something that opens up, and inside that spell you can play Skyrim.
Yes, absolutely.
There's one problem with that.
What's that?
They're going to actually have to release Elder Scrolls 6 first.
Oh, even better. They could actually do it. They could put it in Starfield. It could actually just be like a game.
Starfield. It should be a game on your console on your ship. Totally.
Easy. Done.
That's what you do when you're in Quantum in Starfield.
Oh,
Can I do my rant about the fucking engine now, please? Because fuck that engine. Like, that engine is more than old enough to vote. There is no reason to still be using that fucking engine.
Okay.
At least Starfield's on Creation Engine 2.
Here's the thing.
That's the same fucking engine.
Here's the thing.
It's the same engine. All they've done is they keep patching little bits onto it. The engine is not 64-bit capable. It is 64-bit aware. That is a huge, huge difference. The only difference really between that and a true and a 32-bit application is it's going, oh, you've got a bit more RAM. I can use that bit of RAM for texture work or something like that. It hasn't upgraded the cell draw distance since Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. It is the same goddamn engine. There is no reason. Oh, but what about the mods? Oh, I'm sorry. Is Game Brio engine the only fucking engine in fucking existence? You can fucking mod, you fuck.
Look,
off
Shiver, did you not see?
It's software who fucking hell make amazing engines, and what do they do with it? Oh, just bring out another fucking Doom or Wolfenstein, yeah, fucking great. And then they're all slamming their dicks in the fucking door over a great job they've done, when they could just commission fucking id to say, look, we need a decent engine that's fucking modern, that's 64-bit capable, that we can modify and run Elder Scrolls 6 on it. Is that possible? And id will be all like, yeah, okay, why didn't you ask us that 20 years ago?
I'm actually somewhat hopeful because Microsoft has said this. Now that Microsoft owns Bethesda, they have said that they would like to try and use the Doom engine for other games. Because it's really good.
I got two things I want to say. One, did you not hear Dad Howard saying after the...
I heard fucking Todd Howard say, oh yes, Oblivion is going to be completely up to date and new engine.
Shiver, excuse me.
Fucking
Shiver,
Skyrim,
I was talking.
The preliminaries. Oh yeah, Skyrim is going to be DX11 capable. No, it fucking is.
I was talking.
Use that engine, but it's not DX11 capable in any fucking way whatsoever. There is no tessellation whatsoever in that fucking game. It is still using crappy old textures and ramps.
Sure. Did you not see the internet got all excited about the fact that in Starfield a ladder was shown, and Todd Howard was like, don't necessarily get excited about the ladder. It's not about the ladder. Ignore the ladder. Anyway, the actual point I want to make is that I have very little faith that this will happen. But as someone who has watched very closely the evolution of the engine from Crisis to Star Citizen, I do understand and believe that extensive engine modification is possible, can be done well. There is the faintest inkling of hope that this will happen, but I don't believe it will, but there is the faintest inkling of hope that it might possibly happen. Go ahead.
That's all well and good using the Crysis engine, which is a fantastic engine in and of itself. Everything that's been shown for Star Citizen has already been shown to work in the Crysis engine. It could always handle fluid dynamics. It could always handle speed tree. It could always do that. It was always capable of doing that. The game Brio engine was made 20 years before Crysis existed. You take a car, right? And this is a fantastic simile because it's called an engine. It's called an engine for a reason. Now you take a 20-year-old car, you upgrade everything but the fucking engine. You keep tweaking it a little bit, you're charging it. That engine is still 20 years old. Doesn't matter if it looks like a fucking Lamborghini Diablo or a Ferrari F40. It's still got a fucking Lada engine in it. And when it gets to that hill that's slightly above sea level, and your car.
Did you know that Crysis is exactly a decade older than Game Brio? It's exactly a decade older. 1997 versus 2007.
So much upgrading you can do to something before you just like, fuck it.
Yes, I know. But
no, I had something to say. You can't talk now, David.
Okay,
it's not your turn.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Eric.
I would like to say that using what CIG has done to that engine as a comparison for what Bethesda would do to Game Brio is reaching.
I think you are misunderstanding my words. Did I say that they will do the same thing? Or did I say that I have seen that significant upheaval and change is possible?
Yes, it is.
It is possible.
You have to take
That's
9 years.
all I'm saying. All I'm saying is I've seen it done, and we shall see how bad Starfield is.
I just want to say just for anybody who's wondering, CIG actually doesn't use much of the Crysis engine anymore. The guts are there, but they have built whole new sections of the engine and bolted them on, and also they like completely rewrote a lot of the underlying code of the engine. It's like if you actually built a Lamborghini on top of a Honda Civic, including the Lamborghini engine. Like, yes, the frame might be the same, but that's it.
You might be able to use the fuel line that pumps the fuel from the tank to the engine.
It is possible.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done.
Bethesda won't do it.
To a degree, and that's where we're at right now with Elder Scrolls V.
Yeah.
Look at it. You could only modify it to a certain extent, and then it just...
Yeah.
I am not as worried about Starfield.
Same draw distance from Elder Scrolls 3 in it. You literally cannot change that without making it an actual 64-bit engine.
And they can do that. They could in...
No.
Why not?
No. Not even CIG did that with Crysis. They made a 64-bit floating point unit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not part
do
of
that.
the engine, because the engine couldn't do it.
Anyway, we've had this discussion 400 times before.
We will see what the upgrades do. Let's be clear here. I don't know what they're going to do, but they have to upgrade it for a modern game. For Starfield, it has to be upgraded significantly if they are going to have Starfield be of any significance at all. Period.
I have to say, I'm actually fairly impressed that they managed to make the whole building thing work in Fallout 4 in that fucking engine.
Fallout 76 is in the same engine, is it not?
Yeah.
Fallout 76 is kind of impressive considering it's an engine from 1997.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
they have done significant wizardry with that engine. So
Yeah,
we'll
no,
see.
they have. They have. The problem is the characters. The characters are so bad.
I know
It's
we will see what
it's just
happens
awful.
with Starfield. They can't change for Starfield. It's too late, right?
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's almost done.
They can't change for Starfield. What I hope, my biggest hope here though, is that because Microsoft bought Bethesda, they will able to say no. Elder Scrolls 6, you're getting a new engine. Period.
I would love to know what.
That's what I want.
I would love to know what Creation Engine 2 is. Like, because it's. I think the only information we have about it is that it said it in the trailer for Starfield. It is the only game that's used that engine, theoretically. I would love to know if it's actually a different engine or not. I doubt it is, but
Game Bio.
I would imagine, yeah. But I would love to know how they justified calling it Creation Engine 2. Maybe it runs like 1% faster. I don't know.
It uses advanced high-resolution photogrammetry textures for in-game worlds. It has high-end motion capture tech. Skyrim done tweaks on the physics system. They have new lighting and graphics tech, and it's built for next-gen consoles. The technology, Creation Engine 2, is sort of built for both. It's a new tech base. The vast majority of our development work is on Starfield, but it all intertwines. It's built for both Starfield and TES 6, so I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see when it comes out. I'm not surprised, and I was a little. Yeah, I wish there was a character in the trailer that they showed, because that's been their downfall for like the last 15 years.
We'll see.
So-
Well, maybe they're able to bolt something on that fixes that.
That'd be lovely. If you could completely rewrite how characters work in the engine, that'd be awesome. There's been the same bugs since like Morrowind in those games. It's amazing. Anyway.
Okay.
There's another segment, I think.
That was our.
Oh, that was a yell about something
Yeah,
segment.
I changed that over to yell about something when Shiver started. There is one
I
other.
just call it the Shiver segment.
Shiver segment. No, because usually it's David yelling about something.
So there's all our last segment tonight is going to be segment to get you free shit. Two games are free right now on Epic Games Store: Void Bastards and Yooka-Laylee, both of which are actually good games. Yooka-Laylee is decently old now, but good platformer. And Void Bastards, I think it came out last year or the year before, but it's sort of an interesting FPS roguelike that I kind of enjoyed.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think that's it.
EGS does
That's-
weird things sometimes.
It does. Niscavian. You know what? I went back and played Andromeda recently, and yeah, it just wasn't very fun.
It's all right, but the problem is, it's in the shadow of giants.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got a lot of work cut out for them for Mass Effect 4 and Dragon Age 5.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, Dragon Age 5, I think.
I think Dragon Age, based on what I heard about Dragon Age, of they're going to just a completely different, like, continent. I think that will help. I think they need to, like, just have a break with Dragon Age and start somewhere in the same universe, but new lore, new people, new everything. I think that'll help a lot. For Mass Effect, they have a significant hill to climb.
Yep, but they can do the same thing, right? You can, and that's what they're doing, right? They're going to a very different place.
But they tried that already with Andromeda, and it failed horribly.
Okay.
Right?
Well, it's mostly because the game wasn't very good.
It is, but it's also, I think they went too far away. Mass Effect, you were still at least in our galaxy, right? We understood the threat. You visit Earth, you visit, like, there's some grounding in something that we understand.
Mm-hmm.
Andromeda is like, I don't know, whatever. It was just, yeah.
They didn't make you care enough?
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't care in Andromeda.
They should send an email to Naughty Dog. They know how to make you care.
Yeah. Okay.
BioWare always made a fantastic story. Fantastic. And that started fading away very slowly. I mean, Mass Effect, got the timing right, was the last game where you still... even Mass Effect 3 was a bit iffy at points story-wise, but it was the conclusion of, I think, their last big, proper, that's a BioWare story, rather than this is the cliched good versus bad showdown, which, don't get me wrong, it can work. And Dragon Age Inquisition story, yeah, it was a pretty good story, but there wasn't the moment where the character takes off the mask and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it was me!
Mm-hmm.
KOTOR 1 and 2, even Jade Empire were just phenomenal. Mass Effect 1
KOTOR
was...
2 wasn't BioWare.
Oh yeah, it was
Obsidian.
Obsidian. Well, Obsidian are also... I mean,
Yes.
there was a time when Obsidian and BioWare were the same, and now Obsidian has kept on and BioWare has not. But
Microsoft should buy BioWare.
that would be fantastic.
To start collecting all the RPG studio.
But I don't know, like Mass Effect 1 had that. Mass Effect 2 had that. I think it was Mass Effect 2. The ending of Mass Effect 2 where you've put together your team, and if you have worked with your entire team, you get different endings based on how you've worked with your teammates throughout the game. Right? Like if you've completed their stories, the ending is different. Like, and you had to choose things. Like Mass Effect 1 definitely had it. Mass Effect 2 still had it. Mass Effect 3 didn't.
They lost the writer for Mass Effect 3.
I know. Yeah.
And they did do that horrible thing where they're hyping it up every single game. Keep your save. It's gonna matter.
Yeah.
And then Mass Effect 3 came out and it was like, nah, didn't really.
Yeah.
I mean, it changed cosmetic things to the story. It didn't have the impact of, we're going to tell you all about this. Keep you safe. Be safe. Be safe.
Yeah.
But it was still a very good game.
Yeah. Anyway,
It was still a very good game.
it is getting late. I need to sleep.
I just wanted to say I just spotted another bit of news. I figured I would share it briefly. Apparently, Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 are both in playable states of development at Obsidian.
Excellent. Mike, look.
That means probably pre-alpha, I'm guessing, but not, it's still a concept type of thing. They actually have a game that they can be.
Sony has
play.
been doing very, very well with first-party exclusives. The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, like Spider-Man, a number of excellent games.
God of War.
Tons. God of War. Microsoft is starting that, and it's going to be starting that with contributions from Obsidian.
Games.
Yeah, like Microsoft is catching up, and their stuff is on PC as well, so we all benefit, and it's going to be really, really fun to see what. Honestly, I'm really, really excited for tomorrow. I'm excited.
Tell me all the
to
good stuff that happens. I'm going to be driving all day.
Yeah, I will. I hope that some of you will join us tomorrow night to rewatch the Gamescom stream. Shiver, do you have any interest in being on that with Jake and I tomorrow night, this same
What
time?
time it is?
This same time.
Maybe it depends on how much stuff I've got written.
Sounds
prepared.
good.
Tomorrow's.
We'll see. It's either a 2-person or a 3-person tomorrow. Join us, and regardless, have fun, stay safe, and consider your role as a human on this planet of ours that we are slowly destroying because, we've only got one.
Don't forget to join Grindr because you never know when someone might need their car being pushed.